You know, for the past few decades, the most valuable thing you could possibly own on the internet was your own proprietary code, right? A secret algorithm, a unique software stack. Well, that whole foundation is starting to crack. So today, we're going to dive into a completely new kind of defensibility, a new moat that's being built not on what you've coded, but on who you are.
And this, right here, captures that shift perfectly. We are moving from a world where all the value was locked up inside the software itself to a world where value lies in verified trust and in your unique identity. Think about it. The old moat was all about what you built. The new moat, it's about who you are, who trusts you, and what kind of filters you control.
So to really get where we're headed, we got to look back for just a second. We need to see why that old world is falling apart. Why is that once reliable moat of proprietary code just, well, drying up?
It's not just one thing, right? It's a bunch of different forces all hitting at the exact same time. You've got AI tools like GitHub Copilot literally writing the code for you. Then you've got other models like Claude that can design entire system architectures. And on top of all that, open source software is now so good it often beats the expensive enterprise stuff. And here's the bottom line. Building the software just isn't the hard part anymore, and that fundamentally changes the entire game for every tech company out there.
Okay, so that leads to a really big question. If code is everywhere and computing power is basically free, where does the value actually come from? What's the one thing left that you can actually truly own on the internet?
Yeah, it's not about some fancy, complicated piece of software anymore. It's about owning a trusted, memorable, and, this is key, voice-speakable identifier, something that's rooted in real-world human intent. That is the new, finite, and defensible asset.
And this is what some people are calling a semantic land grab. It's like a gold rush, but for words. These domains aren't just web addresses, they capture the exact language, the semantics that people use when they need something. I mean, think about it. There can only ever be one bestplumber.chicago. That scarcity is exactly what creates the value.
Okay, so this all sounds a little abstract, right? Let's make it real. How does this actually work in practice? We're going to see how this system builds a complete digital kingdom for a local pro we'll call Jim the Plumber.
So you start with this one single master profile, and from there, the system just spins up all these different identity surfaces for every possible situation. There's a public page for search engines, a place to pull in all his reviews for social proof, a surface for booking appointments, and even a QR code that acts as a bridge to the physical world. You know, you could slap it on his truck or his business card.
Now hold on, this isn't just some fancy website builder. We're talking about something much smarter. Each one of these surfaces is a node in an intelligent knowledge graph. It's kind of like a brain for Jim's business. An AI agent is constantly updating it, learning from every single interaction, every job, every review, and that makes Jim's digital identity smarter and way more valuable over time. All right, now here's where things get really interesting. This is where the whole idea takes a giant, generational leap forward. Because this isn't really about building better websites. It's about getting rid of the keyboard entirely. They call this the cognitive shortcut. The domain name itself becomes the instruction. You don't have to open an app, you don't have to type a search query. The address is the action. The intent is baked right in. And that just fundamentally changes how we interact with technology. And you can see how this becomes the absolute killer architecture in a voice-first world of smart speakers and AR glasses. You just speak what you want. Hey, find me a plumber, automatically routes to the most trusted local domain. Then, the system's AI agent can handle the booking for you. And later, its memory layer can answer questions like, what did I spend on home repairs last year? It's completely seamless. So what makes this whole system so powerful, so defensible? Well, it's not just one thing. It's actually a series of 5 interlocking moats that just get deeper and stronger the more people use the network.
First up, you've got the Trust Graph moat. Every single verified job builds a portable trust score that Jim actually owns. And the key here is that it's not trapped on a platform like LinkedIn or Yelp. It's his credential, part of his permanent digital identity. He owns it.
Next, you have the Agentic task moat. And Agentic is just a fancy way of saying the AI can actually do things for you. The second this network can handle not just finding Jim, but booking him, paying him, and filing the invoice, all from a single voice command, it becomes the essential transaction layer for local services. It's like Stripe, but for real-world tasks.
All right, moat number 3 is the verified memory moat. The system remembers things like your water heater's warranty, the date of the last repair, and exactly what it cost. This is an asset that compounds over time. The longer you're in the system, the more it knows, and the more indispensable it becomes to you. That creates a barrier that's almost impossible for a competitor to overcome.
Fourth, and oh man, is this one crucial for where the internet is headed, is the spam and noise moat. As the web gets absolutely flooded with AI-generated content, a network of verified, trusted identities becomes this vital filter. It's a signal in all the noise. Spam doesn't even get through the door.
And finally, we have the physical world moat. This is how the digital advantage literally jumps off the screen and into the real world. By connecting Jim's digital identity to his truck, his signs, and his cards using things like QR codes and NFC tags, the system creates a distribution channel that nobody else can easily replicate. And best of all, no app install is needed.
So when you boil it all down, what's the big idea here? It's this. The keyboard was always just a tool, a way for us to communicate our intent. In a world of voice commands and augmented reality, when the domain name becomes the intent, well, the infrastructure that can route that intent is going to be worth more than any single software product. So the real question is, who's going to be the one to build it?